Alright, today we're going to be installing one of the Streamlight Stinger lights. There are a lot of variations of this, but one thing I wanted to do is add one to the front of the vehicle that's on the charge. I've got the auxiliary switches, so with that we've got power that comes on with ignition only, so we're going to connect this into that. Didn't have to remove the seat out of the vehicle all the way for it, but I went ahead and did it just for videotape purpose. The first thing I do is remove your four bolts back there, and what I'm doing is actually lining up. I've already drilled the holes, those two right there, and this is actually going to sit right down there on the inside and be able to charge while being up underneath the seat out of the way. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to pop this off. It just slides forward, and I'm actually going to come in from the top side by moving this up a little bit and placing my bolts through here, and then I'll have the bolt heads or the nuts on the bottom side here, tying it down, run the wires, and it should be that easy. I'm not going to get all that on film just because it is a pain with one hand, but we'll do a follow-up once I get it initially on. Alright, it is hard to show you, but if you can see right where my finger's at, this part right here, just a little tiny clip, it's going to be on the back side of this little notch. You have to kind of push the carpet or the bottom of the seat out, and then it'll come up. So we're going to have this gained up where we can get our hand up in here and get down to those bolt holes. All right, as you can see, I've got one through. I've got the second one kind of pinned in with my hand. We're just gonna drop that in. And now let's put our piece on. All right, you guys, the screws or bolts that I'm using does have a Phillips head on the back end just because it's what I already had. What I would suggest though is if you go to make sure you get a bolt head like this. I'm gonna be able to get in there with my pliers and still crimp it off how I need to, but it would definitely make it easier if it was gonna be a bolt head. And this is gonna go through the holes just like that. We'll tighten those down and it'll sit just like that. All right, and as you can see, shoving a tool down on the top side to get to the back side behind the metal. It is sitting nice and tight, and we got some of that. We'll move it over and do our second bolt and get it tightened down. Right here, this little tiny clip, it goes on, and then from there we're gonna back out, and this here just folds over it, pushes down a little bit. So there's our fit. Clips in place, be right on the front side, and all you gotta do to get it is grab it and pull out. All right, now we've got the seat back in the Jeep. We just need to put our wires back in, plug these back up, and then we're gonna take our cigarette plug. We are going to plug this part into the bottom of it. We'll run this wire down with the factory wiring so it's up out of the way and doesn't have to worry about getting caught up. And then we're going to snip the end of this off, and we're going to connect into our auxiliary wiring that's already up underneath here. All right, after running it up from underneath, like I said, I've got the auxiliary wires, so I've connected it on that, so it's on the ignition. I'm going to finish tucking these in because I do run with the carpet out during the summer, just because we do a lot of off-roading and jet skiing and stuff like that. So ran it back up underneath, and there's actually a bolt back under there. It's really hard to see right now, but that's where I grounded it out at. And this is where it now sits. And all you gotta do is pull it out or slide it right back in, and it's charging. All right, and as you can tell, this is on the front. I've got this put up one more time just to kind of get a up-close view. I'm going to try to get the best lighting that I can. As you can tell, coming from the side, from the other side, the clearance that it has. And what I'm going to do is reach across and show you that now when I turn my accessory on. As you can see, the red light there indicates that it is on, and from its location I can just reach down and pull right out or put back in for charging.